We're following breaking news this Friday night on Capitol Hill. These are live pictures from House chambers where lawmakers are back at this hour. They are making their picks yet again for Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy is hoping for a win after failing to get enough support 13 times this week. I'm Leslie Foster. This is a big deal because the House cannot work until a speaker is picked. Adam Longo is in the newsroom watching this play out. Hey, Ads, we've been watching for minutes now, and we thought this might be coming to a conclusion, but then maybe not.
Yeah, this has all been hanging on some of these members who have held out their votes throughout the course of this week. Some of them have gone towards the Kevin McCarthy camp today, and literally right now, what the clerk is doing is asking for the folks who had not read their votes into the record during the roll call to make them announced. So what's unfolding right now is who has the votes. Does Kevin McCarthy have the votes at this moment to become Speaker? That's what we're waiting to confirm. Literally, this is unfolding as we speak right now in this moment. But first, I want to take a couple seconds just to show you how we got to where we are right now.
And Kevin McCarthy.
Give me the next 30 seconds to catch you up on what happened leading up to this historic 14th vote for House Speaker.
A speaker has not been elected.
The newly elected members of the House of Representatives first got together on Tuesday. 218 votes are needed to elect a speaker if every member there votes yes or no. Democrats stood unanimously behind their guy, Hakeem Jeffries, but a group of Republicans wouldn't back Kevin McCarthy.
A speaker has not been elected.
So all week and after 13 votes, McCarthy has had to make big promises to win over the votes of those right-wing Republicans who have so far been reluctant to support him. All right, so listen, this is key. This is what's happening right now on the floor of the House of Representatives right now. Kevin McCarthy is speaking to Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. We are at the point in this process where the clerk has asked if there is anyone in the House chamber who wishes to change their vote. If no one changes their vote right now, Kevin McCarthy does not have it. He will lose again on a historic 14th ballot. If he's able to convince Matt Gaetz to change his vote to vote for him, or if any of the other Republican members were to change their vote and vote for Kevin McCarthy, McCarthy would win this vote. Can we listen in for a second if we hear anything that's happening? So you can hear the members trying to goad him perhaps into changing his vote. It looks as though that he might not be willing to change his vote. Here's Kevin McCarthy going back to his seat in the front. And unless Matt Gaetz, he would literally have to stand up and approach the front and approach these clerks that are at the front of the House in order to change his vote. If he does not walk up there, or any of the other Republican members who didn't vote for him, if they don't walk up there right now to change their vote, Kevin McCarthy will have lost this round. Now, only 3 other speakers' races ever in the history of our country went to more than 14 ballots. The last one, 1859. It went 44 ballots, took 2 months. Kevin McCarthy would become the 55th Speaker of the House. Now, assuming he were to win tonight, maybe this thing would go well into the morning because the House members would have to be sworn in and then they have to vote on a rules package. Listen, we're watching this extremely closely. If anything breaks here, we're going to come right back to me and I'm going to get you the update. Leslie?
Yeah, Ads, I mean, this is really playing out, as you said, as we speak. I mean, we thought for a moment that because a lot of these congressional members had some of their family members in there, maybe even their children, that was a sign that this was actually going to happen. About some 14 times it took at this point. But again, as you say, and I'm looking at the screen here, if Matt Gaetz and some of these others don't come forward to make this change, this could be a very, very long night into the morning.
Right, and at any moment the clerk might say, look, that's it, it's official, that's the vote, it's over, and then it's back to the drawing board for Kevin McCarthy and the Republican leadership. So it looks like the clerk may have something to say. Let's stay with this for a second. I think this is a crucial moment in what you said about having the families, everybody here, because they want that picture, right? The children, the wives, the spouses, the husbands, they want to be there with the members as they're being sworn in. But if it's just 1 or 2 holdouts that this whole vote is teetering upon, you know, nothing is for certain. I mean, Kevin McCarthy was walking through the Capitol earlier and he told a live CNN camera that he had it, that he had the votes. And so that posture set up this presumption tonight that he was going to be elected Speaker on this historic 14th ballot. But as you can see, that the House members are still huddled as if somebody might approach the lectern and change their vote. It seems the clerk is waiting for some sort of order or some sort of ruling for some of the other staff in order to proceed. But this is how this is literally playing out. Our democracy playing out late on a Friday night because the House of Representatives can't do anything. Can't do anything until we have a speaker. This is crucial. And I think the clerk, it looked like she was going to be addressing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
go ahead.
you know, and I would say, Adam, and thank goodness for the clerk here, Cheryl Johnson and her team, because as you say, there are no rules at this point. Let's listen in for just a second. She has managed to keep this House in order during this time. Okay, I thought she was going to approach the mic,
There's
but
a few
maybe
good
not.
fake outs here where she's
Yeah, they've been
coming
lots
up
of
to the lectern.
Hey, listen, this is democracy in action. This is what we get to see in both hometown Washington and official Washington. We've got a front row seat to history. We'll keep dipping in here.
No, I was just going to say on the iPad that you see I have in my hand, I'm watching C-SPAN, so we're getting some cutaways of the members. Kevin McCarthy right now talking with some of the members. They just had a shot of Matt Gaetz, who's a little further, several rows behind him there. If we're able to show that here. All right, so there was the wide shot of the chamber, and then there's a lot of members just talking amongst themselves just to see if anyone is going to be trading their vote. You see the members there at the front of the room. I'm looking at something different than what you are. I see where we are now.
Yeah.
Where they're just sort of huddled and trying to figure this out. Matt Gaetz sitting next to Lauren Boebert there, Republican from Colorado, and she voted present during this roll call vote, which started at 10:20. And that was something that received a large round of applause because she has perpetually, during the previous 13 ballots, been one of these holdouts by voting quote unquote present. That lowers the threshold, that lowers the number of votes that somebody would need to become the House Speaker.
Hey, Adam, let me interrupt you for a second because it looked like you were talking about Boebert. Gaetz is sitting next to her.
Yeah.
There doesn't appear to be any movement on his part to move forward toward the clerk or the clerk's staff at all to weigh in. In fact, it doesn't look like anybody is heading in that direction. Just seems like there's a lot of mulling about, a lot of caucusing, a lot of talking. So again, as we've been saying, this may take a while.
And let's put one more period on this, okay? If Kevin McCarthy loses this by one vote, right? Then does he have to promise the moon and stars to get just one more Republican member to cross over and vote for him? What does he have to give up in order to get that vote? If in fact he does lose this historic 14th round, that will be a very interesting storyline moving forward.
It will be. And Adam, as you're talking, I'm looking at C-SPAN, and can we just say thank you so much for C-SPAN and their ability to move about during this time? Because what I can see here is it looks as if Kevin McCarthy is talking with other Republican congressional members right now.
Yeah.
They're all in a huddle. It's not clear what they're saying or what they're doing, but there doesn't appear to be anybody moving or looking as if they're going to move in the direction of heading toward the clerk. So again, we're watching this play out minute by minute. We're watching the boxes. I think we're going to come back to this if something else occurs.
I'll be right here.
Is that what I'm hearing, Jeff? All right, that's what we're going to do.